Now, how much of a role should parents play in their own child's life? Well, Queensland state teachers were told that according to the Human Rights Act, they don't need to be told everything that happens in the classroom. That's what was said in a leaked email to teachers. This is obtained by the Courier Mail today, where they were told that according to the Human Rights Act, they should keep pupils' preferred names, pronouns, and gender identities a secret from their parents. I mean, this is the sort of stuff that's happening in the United States. It's really quite disturbing that we're seeing this now in Queensland as well. Joining me is esteemed educator and academic Dr. Kevin Donnelly. Great to have you on the program, Kevin. What do you think about this? This would be such a shock to so many parents to hear that in regular Queensland public schools, teachers are talking about not telling parents if a child wants to change their gender. That's what's at the heart of this.
It is, Sharri, and it's appalling. I mean, it really is an indictment of what has been a campaign for many years now by what I call the cultural left to really get into schools and get into the curriculum with an agenda that began with Safe Schools, which was all about promoting, affirming that LGBTQI plus lifestyle. And it gets to a point, it's got to a point now, as you've said, where in Queensland, parents are not to be told if their children want to transition or are talking about it at school. And the other point I'd like to make is, if you look at the Commonwealth government, they have a wellbeing site. And if you look at the materials on that site, it actually says the same thing, that parents need not be told if, say, a young child, 12 or 10 or 12, wants to become transgender. Schools do not have a duty of care to tell parents. It's shocking. Parents are their primary caregivers, their primary educators, so schools have no right to do that.
I just think it's absolutely disgraceful. Can you imagine being a mother of a young child, as you say, 10, 11, 12, 13, whatever age the child really, if they're at school, and not being allowed to know if they're going by a different name in the classroom or different pronoun? How is this allowed to happen?
It is. As I said, it's been going on for a long time. There was the Safe Schools program I mentioned. It began in Victoria about 10 years ago. It did go national, and Liberal and Labor governments, state and federal, supported it. Well, it's going a step further, but really you've got this underpinning now where in primary school, for example, even kindergarten, if you look at the guidelines, children are told boys can be girls, girls can be boys, that you have to use gender-neutral, non-binary pronouns. And even if you look at the kind of children's books that are being used. Now, I've got no problem with young kids wanting to be gay or lesbian, but really what we have now is a concerted campaign in schools, primary and secondary, as I mentioned, to actually overturn the whole idea of heterosexuality. Boys are boys, girls and girls, because that's attacked as heteronormative and cisgender. So there's a whole language going around this that is really changing, undermining what parents expect.
Yeah, well, it's not about, I mean, you said wanting to be gay. It's not about wanting to be. Some people are just born with different preferences, but the issue is parents not being told if a child wants to transition. Do you think the leaking of this email suggests that not all teachers are comfortable with the way this is headed?
I do, and I was involved in a one-day event last year in Melbourne. We're organising another one in Sydney in about a month, and that's because teachers from around Australia and parents are contacting me, emailing, whatever it might be, and they want an alternative to schools that are adopting this very radical gay gender agenda. Parents and teachers in particular, don't want to get involved in that kind of campaign. So they're looking to set up their own schools based on an academic curriculum where parents are involved involved very heavily, and teachers know they have a duty of care to tell parents and to inform them what is happening in the school, especially in terms of the curriculum.
Yep. All right, Kevin Donnelly, thank you very much for your time.